First, I would like to express my appreciation to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for inviting the European Union to observe these important elections. And I'd also like to express my gratitude to federal and state institutions, judiciary, civil society, media, and of course political participants for their continuous cooperation during the course of our observation mission. The mission started its work on the 11th of January and observed all stages of the electoral processes up to date. Our observers are still at state collation offices following the results process as we speak. For the 18th March elections, the mission deployed almost 70 international observers in 20 states across Nigeria. The mission was comprised of observers from 25 EU member states and from our colleagues in Norway and Switzerland. In this regard, I would like to thank the delegation of the European Union. In Nigeria, the embassies of the EU member states who are represented here today, and the embassies of Norway and Switzerland, who enforced our mission with locally recruited short-term observers. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the mission we saw that Nigerians have a great appetite for democracy and are keen to engage in various civic activities. However, in large parts of the country, their expectations were not met. Further, many Nigerians were so disappointed with the electoral process of the 25th of February that on Saturday they decided to stay at home. The voter apathy that we witnessed is, in part, a clear consequence of failures by political elites and unfortunately also by INEC. We all remember how public confidence and trust in INEC collapsed on the 25th of February, primarily due to lack of transparency and operational failures in the conduct of the federal level polls. Up until the postponement of the state elections, INEC limited its communication to a few press releases and ceremonial statements. These were insufficient to address public grievances and rebuild public confidence. Positively, however, from the 11th of March onwards, INEC introduced various corrective measures, and on Saturday we saw that some of those steps had taken effect. For example, sensitive materials were delivered on time, and the use of election technologies was improved. The collation process is still ongoing, and the EU Election Observation Mission is continuing its observation of this crucial phase of the election. Therefore, I encourage stakeholders to keep committed to a peaceful process and address any grievances through the courts. In this regard, I am mindful of the fact that various aspects of the presidential election have already been brought before the courts. I understand that petitions may also be submitted regarding several Senate and House of Representatives elections. That being said, it is important that this mission maintains its strict line of impartiality and non-interference in accordance with our observation methodology. As observers, we always hope to see a frictionless electoral process, to see democracy striving. Unfortunately, wide expectations that the new electoral law, in particular, would notably improve the overall conduct of the polls were not met, due in part to the poor implementation of the law and lack of political will to achieve its objectives. The conduct of the 2023 elections revealed systemic weaknesses of election administration that, if not properly and comprehensively addressed, could lead to democratic backsliding. This can have costly consequences for any country on any continent. Considering the pivotal role Nigeria has for this region, for Africa and the world, this is particularly important at this time. I thank you very much for your attention.